And we are back, WJBF Sports Game Night Live. Lincoln County, 2nd and goal to go against Aquinas' defense here. The ball is just across the 5-yard line. Let's see what they do. The Red Devils give it to Hartfield, and Hartfield is going to get to about the 3. Nice job by Will Evans. By the way, that big fella there, 65, Will Evans, is committed to play in one of your favorite conferences, the MAC. He'll play at Ohio University for the Bobcats.
Nothing beats some midweek MACtion.
That is the school that produced one Chris Kane.
That is true.
WJBF's former sports director, now morning show host. Third down. They give it to Hartfield along the left side with some blocking. Hartfield cuts it back to the middle. He is going to be stopped at about the 2. Good job that time, stringing it out by Aquinas.
Yeah, another great defensive play by the Aquinas D.
This is a win for Aquinas because Lincoln County had it 1st and goal at about the 3 or 4.
Right.
Great job stringing it out by T.J. Smith, and then Banks comes in and makes the tackle. So it'll be Ryan O'Neal to kick a field goal here, a short one. It's going to be a 20-yarder. O'Neal's kick is up, and O'Neal's kick is good. So we are knotted at 3.
Your score, 45 left in the first half. Lincoln County 3, Aquinas 3.
We're knotted at 3, Aquinas and Lincoln County trading field goals.
And want to remind you, after the game, stop by McDonald's and pick up their Southern-style sweet tea for only $1. McDonald's. I'm loving it.
And I'm loving it. And Nathan's loving it.
There's a lot to love.
Well, we got a great night for football, I know that, and we're tied at 3. Really a win, though, for Aquinas, as I said. After that long kick, Lincoln gets it, Lincoln County inside the 5, and to be able to hold them to a field goal there is big. And it all started on 1st down where they fumbled the snap. After this kickoff, we're going to check in with Stephanie French down on the sidelines. Ryan O'Neal, great punter and kicker to handle the honors here for Lincoln County. His 20-yard field goal has tied us up. And another good kick by O'Neal. Gates, the return man. Gates up the middle, and he'll be stopped at about the 30. Actually, check that, the 25. Let's go down to the sidelines. Here's Stephanie French with an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report.
Hey guys, well this game is not just a win in the column, the last game of the season for both of these teams. For the regular season, if Lincoln County wins this game tonight, it's win 500 for the program. As you can see, they brought a lot of fans with them. They are lined up along the field. There's not enough room on the stands. They actually had to bring 2 extra bleachers over from the Aquinas side to seat everyone over there. Back up to you.
All right, welcome back. As Aquinas has the football here, thanks, Steph. Little misdirection play by Aquinas that time. D'Lo Durham, the sophomore, D'Angelo Durham. It's a 1st down for Aquinas. So D'Angelo Durham goes by D'Lo with a nice run there on the right side. Another one of these young players they're high on here. He's just a sophomore. And that's the sophomore and junior class. They lose some big players in Liam Welch and Will Evans, but they got some good youngsters coming through the system. So this time a handoff. Again, it's Durham, basically the same play. Durham along the right side across the 40.
But Aquinas getting these extra yardage, all this extra yardage that you're used to seeing teams from Lincoln County get, again, when they run it so aggressively. But so far, Aquinas, more the ones that are, never say die on each and every run.
Gates and T.J. Smith check back in for Aquinas. Tied at 3 here, early 2nd quarter. Liam Welch, outstanding senior quarterback, headed to Samford University. Back to throw. Welch going to find a man on the right side, and it was in and out of the hands of Justin Gibbs. A good pass there. He might have heard some footsteps on that one.
Yeah, kind of carried him outside towards the numbers a little bit, and I think you might be right. Felt some defenders on him, but another great throw. And, yeah, you said Welsh going to Sanford University, with the coach Chris Hatcher, former college quarterback at Valdosta State.
Obviously, Liam Welch, one of the standouts there. On the offensive line is Will Evans and Ethan Crawford, the two big ones. Matter of fact, Ethan Crawford, one of the strongest guys in the area. He won first place in the ball press at the Border Bowl Combine. Or check that, that's Will Evans. Crawford was so good at the Combine, he earned a spot in the Border Bowl. So Aquinas is going quick here, trying to get lined up. Running that no huddle, trying to get it. And they get the first down. So they were trying to catch Lincoln County off guard on fourth down, and they get it. So they've converted, as you see, the Lincoln County defense. Elam is one of the standouts there, Tidarius Elam, number 27. And then up front for Lincoln County, we'll see here, it's Parks up front, Jesse Parks, one of their standouts.
And a different kind of look from Aquinas because you hurry up to get on the ball, then you wait a little bit, and if you're Lincoln County, you're thinking they're just trying to draw you off sides, and then you rush forward.
Well, it was almost like a down-the-ball formation, take a knee, victory formation.
It kind of throws you off guard a little bit.
Well, they've converted 2 big fourth downs in this game already. Welch looking to throw. Across the middle, got a man, and it's in and out of the hands. That was George Welch. So we've had a couple of drops here.
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate because Liam Welch, we talked about his accuracy, 63 TDs and 9 picks in 3 years, folks. That is remarkable, including only 1 interception this year. So he is usually on the money. Unfortunately, his receivers have dropped a couple here.
Yeah, and he still is. He has been tonight.
There you see a lot of the fans getting into it here, and it's great to see. And look, Aquinas for so long was not a great program, and then all of a sudden with Matt Lizotte, and even before that they had some decent years, but Lizotte really took them to the next level with players like Brendan Douglas. But after he left, they still won a state title, and there's a big hit by Elam, but on his feet stays Gates, and he's still running without his helmet. Great effort by Chris Gates there.
Another great run, and as scary as it is to see a kid have his helmet knocked off.
Yeah, that'll endear you to the fans.
Yeah, nothing looks cooler to the fans and really shows.
Big hit by Elam, but he didn't wrap him up.
Yeah. Again, helmet's knocked off, still chugging forward, and
great effort by the senior running back, Chris Gates. He has followed in the footsteps of some pretty good backs. Brendan Douglas, who of course is at Georgia, and Reuben Garnett, who's at Middle Tennessee State. That's the footsteps he's following, that's pretty big shoes to fill. They fake it to Durham. Welch is going to keep it right up the middle. Welch still on his feet. A great run by the quarterback. I got to admit, Aquinas is moving the ball, even though they've had to convert fourth downs a couple of times. They're moving the ball against Lincoln County better than I thought they would early on.
Well, and what it comes down to, you would say, well, what's the line of scrimmage look like? But when you have a quarterback that can put it near the receivers, can throw it anywhere, and then he'll run it every now and then to keep you honest, and they're running, and they have an aggressive running game, you can easily see why they're picking up all these yards, because if you're Lincoln County, even if you do run a good defense, it might be the wrong call for the type of play.
That was big. That's a good-looking sophomore there, D'Lo Durham. Elam made the tackle, but not before Durham picked up good yardage.
And you were talking about them having to. All right, we lost Brendan Douglas. What do we do? We lost Reuben Garnett, and we lost Taz Lindsay. What do we do now? It's continuing to go down the line. It's going to be, we lost Welsh. What do we do? And they're all different kind of players, and that's the neatest part about it. And it's not just a bunch of running backs. It's quarterbacks. It's DBs, special teams players. They're all around players each and every year here at Aquinas.
Durham is going to have the first down. It was second and short. They also are without tonight sophomore running back and linebacker Joseph Douglas, who is not in the lineup, number 44. Following in that footsteps, all the great Douglases that have played here. People forget, before Brendan Douglas, there was John Douglas, who signed at Auburn, played at Georgia Southern.
Yeah.
He was a great player. We got a timeout on the field. Lincoln County. So we'll take a break with them.
3, 2.
And we are back. Aquinas Lincoln County is the number 3 ranked Red Devils visiting the number 5 ranked Fighting Irish. Right now it's 3-3, but Aquinas is moving the ball. The 10-play drive so far as they continue to move the football. Lincoln's field goal came after the long kick return, 85 yards by Quay Hartfield. And that's where we stand, 3-3 in this great matchup. Laney, by the way, is on top of Westside 14-0. Is that halftime? Actually, pretty good job by Westside to hold them to 14. Laney's got a terrific team led by their defensive tackle, Tyrone Truesdale, who we saw a couple of weeks ago, 6'3", 305 junior, being recruited by everybody in the country. Here's Welch. Welch looking to throw. Now scrambles ahead, throws, got a man, it's open, touchdown Aquinas. He found his brother George right across the middle of the field for the score. Great patience by Liam Welch to wait and let his brother get open there.
Yeah, just, again, finding the right receiver, finding the one that's the most open and throwing it to him. And it's always cool when you get to complete a touchdown pass to your brother.
So Welch to Welch gives Aquinas the 9-3 lead as we await the extra point. 11-play, 75-yard drive for the Irish. And the extra point is up and good. So Aquinas on top 10-3 on the touchdown pass from Liam Welch to his younger brother George. That is touchdown pass number 64 of his career. We'll take a break. We'll be back. More first half action of WJBF Sports Game Night Live.
2-1.
We welcome you back to Aquinas High School, where the Irish fans are going crazy, as you can see. God, give me some of those old school shoulder pads right there.
The Rydell's? I used to have a Rydell helmet. I was supposed to wear it when I drove.
That looks like Matt Lane of about 8 years ago right there.
Pride of the Shamrock here.
So Lincoln County will have to answer here after the 75-yard drive that culminated with a touchdown pass. Here's Hankinson to kick it off to Lincoln. Short, high, kind of a pooch kick. It is caught by Roberts, or check that, Leverett. That's Marquise Leverett.
They got some other scores here from around the area. After the first quarter, Washington County tied with Hepzibah 6-6.
Wow, that's surprising.
After the first quarter, Jones County extending their lead at ARC 14-0 in the second quarter. Thompson leading Windsor Forest 14-0 in the second. And Bamberg Earhart, early 6-0 lead over Denmark Olar.
Bamberg Earhart with only one loss, or Bamberg Earhart's unbeaten. They
Yeah.
knocked off Allendale this year. Also, Jones County over ARC. Jones County ranked number 5 in the state in Class 5A. And we will be at Thompson next week. You mentioned they're up. We'll be at their house next week.
The Brick House.
The Brickyard, as they take on Burke County. Here's Hartfield. Hartfield with another nice run and a great tackle from behind by number 10, DJ Jackson. That saved a big game.
DJ Jackson on the tackle for the Irish.
DJ
Again,
Jackson.
Hartsfield has had a terrific game so far. Again, it's not glaring in the stats, but just by the way he's kind of carried his team with that huge return. Again, he was the reason they got a field goal out of that last possession with that incredible return, and then just the way he's been running so far in this game.
Let's see how they answer, though. Aquinas' drive, they get a first down on the first play from Hartfield. Sophomore quarterback Reed in there. And they do a little misdirection here, a little counter play and a nice run. And carrying defenders, and actually kind of got pushed by a defender forward, was Madarius Roberts, the sophomore. We saw them earlier this year. Remember, he had like 2 carries for 2 touchdowns against Washington Wilkes.
Yeah, first time in this game they've run that little counter that they like to run, 3 or 4 times a game to keep the defense honest. But usually that's built on them running the ball so efficiently. Off tackle, and then hit him with the counter. So not exactly doing that so far tonight, but running that counter for the first time for a first down gain.
Under 6 minutes here in the first half. Lincoln County on the Aquinas side of the field. Another help up to the left side. A great cut to the outside by the Lincoln County running back, who's still on his feet. That's number 12, sophomore Jamal Norman. Boy, he made a great cut to the outside there. And now the Red Devils are on the move after another first down. And they're doing it again. They kind of share the duties out there in the backfield. They got about 4 or 5 running backs that'll carry the load. The leader, though, is Hartfield. So 1st and 10, ball spotted at the 33 of Aquinas. Easily Lincoln County's best drive of the night. And another back carrying it this time and picked up and kind of lands on an Aquinas player. Will Evans is the man who picked him up. Boy, some strength there. Let's go down to the sidelines and get an Augusta Auto Auction sideline report. Here's Stephanie French. Steph?
Yeah, guys, I was talking to Coach Banks before the game. He said, this game is a big one. I asked him about following in Coach Campbell's footsteps. This is his 2nd season as head coach of the Lincoln County Red Devils. And it looks like if you look at stats, they are doing just fine. They are averaging 32 points for the Red Devils. They are only allowing about 5.9 points per win, which is all 8 games this season. And, of course, he said that it's been a tough season getting into 8-0, but, he's enjoying it. Back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot. Yeah, boy, replacing a legend, the all-time winningest coach in Georgia, one of the all-time winningest coaches in the country, Larry Campbell. Just put into the Hall of Fame. He's in so many Hall of Fames now, but he was just put in by the City Classic in their Hall of Fame.
And always a fun guy to talk to. He's sneaky funny.
Yeah, he is.
Which is the best kind of funny. I mean, let's be honest. He's sneaky, funny guy. Always a pleasure to talk to Coach Campbell.
3rd and 5 as they hand it off right up the middle, and Aquinas is going to get the stop, but it's going to set up 4th and short. Will Evans with the tackle. That was Norman on the carry, so it's going to be 4th and short here, 4th and about 2. See what the Red Devils choose to do at this spot on the field here.
And they've bounced it outside when they've run the ball on 4th down.
We can do the Ken Nugent one call, that's all right here, Matt Lane. What do you do real quick?
I think they're going to try to run it outside. Again, they've been effective running it inside, but they've been able to bounce it towards the outside and pick up yardage. We'll see if they do that right here. As I see a lot of bodies right there in the middle. Maybe they want to think about it.
So the Ken Nugent one call, that's all. Matt Lane says bounce it out to the outside here. We'll see if they do it. Ken Nugent, there you see on the screen. 1-800-CALL-KEN.
Again, they were near the goal line, and Aquinas did a great job of stopping the toss play that they ran. But, again, that doesn't necessarily mean you want to shy away from it and not run it anymore during the game. Again, you also want to try to catch the defense off guard a little bit. And you saw Aquinas really flooding, inside the tackle box right at the line of scrimmage. So we'll see what Banks comes up with here.
It would be close to a 43-yard field goal. The ball is just the tip of the football on the 25, so 43, 42-yarder in that range. I think that's within the range of Ryan O'Neal. However, that's probably about at his range, at his max.
Well, and they've had a great drive here.
Yeah.
And, that factors a lot of times into whether coaches decide to kick or not, how they feel their team is performing and whether any negative plays have been their fault or maybe the defense. But as you see right here, Coach Banks thinks that they can pick it up. So
this crowd is going to erupt. We are situated on the Aquinas side, and this crowd's going to go crazy if they get a stop here. As you see, Ivy in the middle of the line moving. They pitch it to the outside, and nowhere to go for Hartfield. He is stopped. That is Smith, number 9, stepping up, making a play. So T.J. Smith, the junior linebacker, makes the play.
And a great piece of tackling right there. Just because you have folks over there, again, they have to make the play. And
they're going to measure it, but I'm told by Nathan they are just short, and I'll go by Nathan.
As we learned earlier this year, don't
doubt him.
Don't second guess it.
Yeah, it looked like he's going to be short by about the length of a football or more. We'll see, though, on the short carry. It was Smith who stepped up and made the play. Let's see.
Yeah.
And it is about almost the length of a football. So it'll be Irish ball as they get the stop. Nice play by the defense. You're right, they went to the outside, but number 9, T.J. Smith, came up and made the first contact.
It was more of a, it was a toss, but it's kind of a try to catch them off guard talks, thinking they're going to try to bring Hartsfield back through the middle and pick up those tough yards, but a great job by Aquinas.
Well, here's where if you're Lincoln County, you got to get the ball back. You cannot allow another touchdown. 3:20 to go first half. 10-3, you can negotiate. You don't want to be down by 2 scores here. Welch looking to throw. He's looking downfield. Across the middle, got a man. It is caught. And I tell you, White has stepped up and made 2 big catches tonight. He, again, is really the third option behind Gibbs and Welch.
Well, and when you have to respect Gibbs, and he's clearing everything out, and you have a quarterback that can make that throw, and you got a receiver that can catch that pass across the middle, you can almost run that type of play. It's almost like running 4 verticals. You can run it each and every play, and if your quarterback's good, you can pick up positive yardage each and every time.
You can make the argument as much as they handed off to Gates, and nice play because there was a big hole. That was Parks who made the stop. As much as they miss Brendan Douglas and as much as they miss Reuben Garnett and Taz Lindsay, you can make the argument they're going to miss their 3-year starter quarterback, Liam Welch, more than any of them.
Oh, certainly. Because, he was able to kind of learn the game under Douglas and
learn how to work from those guys, too.
Yeah, and really, and you think about it, a lot of quarterbacks, you come in and you have a star player like that, you learn initially, don't make mistakes. Don't turn the ball over. And then once you get older and you learn how to make plays by watching them make plays and get a lot of experience under your belt, you have all that built up, don't make any mistakes, and then that playmaking ability, and that's what's really made him one of the best players in the area because
of it. Well,
also,
your first year as a starter as a sophomore, you go 14-0. But more importantly, he threw 30 touchdowns that year. But more importantly than all that is playing all the way through to the state championship. The experience he got playing in playoff games, playing for a state title, playing in these big games week in and week out was so big for him, and that's carried over to his quality junior year and now senior year.
Yeah. I mean, when you like you said, entering his sophomore season, when you have arguably the best player in the classification.
Yeah, Reuben Garnett.
On your sideline. Again, it makes it a lot easier to be comfortable in any game, and then much less when you go play in the Georgia Dome. It's going to be hard to get, rattled in any other game once you play in a game in the Falcon Stadium.
There we go. Welch throwing again. It's caught. That's his brother George just across midfield. It's going to be a first down for the Irish at the 49 of the Red Devils.
And you can't, again, if it's an efficiently, a great offense can beat a great defense.
I love the game plan tonight, though, because I wondered if Aquinas would be able to run the ball very effectively on Lincoln County, but I knew Welch would be the weapon, and that's the game plan seems to be, put this game in Welch's hands, and right now he's come through.
Well, and then Gates is running so hard and been able to bounce a few again. He almost had a really long run.
And Durham as well. And here's Gates again. They fake it. Welch is going to keep it, and he's hit hard right at the line of scrimmage. They're going to give him forward progress about a half yard. There's a flag down. And Lincoln County is pointing that it is against Aquinas. And it is going to be on Aquinas. It's a personal foul on Ethan Crawford, the big fella. Ethan Crawford, who is already locked in to the Border Bowl. He will represent Team Georgia in January in Border Bowl 3. Big, strong kid, number 79. You see him there. So that negates a big pass play, and will back Aquinas all the way. They were already up at about the 48 on the run by Welch, about a 1-yard run. Now they're back at their own 37.
But, I mean, they've just been lighting up the middle of the field. I'd be anxious to see if we're going to maybe see Gibbs on something, because that middle of the field has just been wide open for him, and at some point Lincoln County is going to have to compensate for it.
Now they're going to throw a bomb down the sidelines. Up in the air for grabs. Is it caught? It was bobbled, but I think they're saying incomplete. Justin Gibbs made an incredible attempt, but he bobbled it, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, you had to think they were going to try to go back to him again, because the middle of the field's so just beat up from where they've completed so many passes. But
it's third down and 24. Boy, if we get another shot of that, not sure we got it, but if we did, Justin Gibbs went up and made a terrific attempt, but just bobbled it on the way down. Don't know if the defender got a hand in there or not.
And that might have, who you make a play like that, who knows where the game goes after that. That would have been an unbelievable play.
We've got a timeout with 1:27 to go. Let's take a moment here, if we can, and check in and introduce you to our East Georgia State College Scholar of the Game from Lincoln County High School. Our East Georgia State Scholar of the Game is Jackson Wheeler. Jackson is a junior starting center for the Red Devils. He's in the top 15% of his class. He also runs track. Jackson's the son of Donald and Amy Wheeler, who are both teachers at Lincoln County. Congratulations to our East Georgia State College Scholar of the Game, number 50, Jackson Wheeler. We'll check in on our winner from the Aquinas side in the second half. Thanks to the folks at East Georgia State College for sponsoring that all year.
And want to remind you, for the best high school football coverage each and every Friday night, tune into Football Friday Night with Matt Zahn and Nathan Palm, as no other station covers more high school football games than Football Friday Night. The area's #1 high school football television show, airing every Friday night at 11:35. And I heard if you hang in there, you might get a segment with us in it.
There's a moment of magic at the end of that show.
And the fact that they put it at the tail end of the show
is to keep you hanging on.
Is a travesty, really.
Well, no, it's to keep everybody watching the whole show. They threw the pass down the middle, and it was overthrown. Looked like maybe the receiver ran a different route that time than Welch thought he was going to. So Aquinas will punt it away. It was 3rd and 24. So that's a good stop by Lincoln County. You did not want Aquinas to get more points there before the end of the half. Now they need to see if they can generate something in the final 1:27 here.
Well, especially with Gibbs looking like he was able to hang on to the ball, but they decided he wasn't, because that was a perfectly thrown ball and a great job of Gibbs of going up to get it, just not able to hang on to it. Really, really big relief for Lincoln County there.
So they will punt it away. Hankinson. Pretty good punt this time. He's going to take a great Aquinas bounce to about the 20 or 21, and that's where it's down by number 6, Burke Agee. Keep it rolling. Let's keep it rolling. 42-yard punt. He had a 43-yarder last time, so averaging 42.5 on his 2 punts tonight for the young sophomore Hankinson. So 21-yard line is where Lincoln County will get it after a nice stop by the defense, aided by a penalty on Aquinas. So Reed, the young sophomore quarterback. There's the counter play to Hartfield. He tripped as he got the ball, and then he was hit by Will Evans, the Ohio University commitment.
Well, just blowing the play up. Again, they tried to go. It looked like they were going away from him, but they came back to him on the run. And, again, even, you blow a play up like that, and there's just nowhere to go. And as soon as you get the ball as a running back, you're almost having to go backwards just to get around your own guy.
2 weeks ago, I saw Tyrone Truesdale from Laney, maybe the best defensive tackle in the area. Now we're seeing one of the best defensive ends in the area in Will Evans. 2 terrific players. Here comes a blitz. They throw the pass, and it's incomplete. He threw it behind his receiver. Good coverage as well.
Yeah, great play by Michael Brown at jumping in there. Again, it looked like they were going to complete that pass, but he was able to knock it out of the receiver's hands, or just knock it enough to where it was fumbling in his hands and it went to the ground. Great play by Brown.
Well, Lincoln County unable to do what Aquinas do, take advantage of the middle of the field. That time Aquinas came with a blitz right up the middle with looked like number 8 on the blitz that time, Artest Banks. But instead of waiting and trying to go to the middle of the field, he threw a quick pass to the outside, incomplete. Now all of a sudden it's 3rd and long, and you might be giving the football right back to Aquinas here. See what Reed does. They have not done much in the passing game at all tonight. Nothing in the passing game, really. They pitch it out. And here's a nice run, breaking a decent one along the left side. And that was number 12, Norman.
That time they were able to get the corner. Again, Evans and another defensive lineman just getting caught in the middle a little bit. Norman able to get around the outside, and that's what we've seen Lincoln County do each and every, seems like, season. Just able to catch that corner a little bit, and those backs are always so quick and shifty and getting a first down.
Well, closing in on the end of the first half here. Reed's going to keep it this time, and he's going to get to about the 40. And that's going to do it, I believe. The end of the first half. Aquinas is up 10-3. as we go to the locker rooms for halftime. You stay with us. We're going to check in with James Leonard. Stephanie French will have him momentarily. And then we've got stats for you. We've got info, highlights, and more during our halftime show. Let's go to Stephanie. She's got Aquinas coach James Leonard.
Coach, I know that last call, the pass attempt, you're a little upset looking for a pass interference call. What's the key to calls for the second half?
Well, we just got to calm down, keep playing our game. You know, we'll take those guys.
Big part for this as well. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, we're playing for our boy Joseph Douglas. He's not here tonight, so everything we do tonight is for Joseph.
All right, well, good luck in the second half. Back up to you guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Steph. There you have Coach James Leonard, who is 33-2 in his 3 years here at Aquinas. Not bad. Unbelievable, actually. So we'll take a break here. When Matt and I come back, we will have stats, we'll have highlights. We've got a performance from the band and more coming up. Aquinas leads Lincoln County 10-3 on WJBF Sports Game Night Live.